25,000 simulated World Cups. Millions of goals scored, saved, and missed across digital stadiums that never existed. Penalty shootouts decided by algorithms that calculate sweat rate, heartbeat deviation, and the exact angle of a goalkeeper's dive. When the supercomputer finished processing the final bracket, the room went silent. Because the nation holding the trophy at the end wasn't the one anyone expected. Not Brazil. Not Argentina. Not even the team the bookmakers had on top. But before I reveal who survived the mathematical carnage, you need to see how the knockout stage unfolded, round by round, goal by goal. The machine didn't simulate opinions. It processed raw data. Current squad tactical efficiency, measuring high press resistance, expected goals, and defensive transition speed under peak pressure. Historical tournament weight, the invisible statistical advantage a nation earns simply by wearing a jersey that has lifted trophies before. And biological degradation curves, the cold science of exactly what happens to a 39-year-old sprint speed in the 115th minute of a quarterfinal. Every variable loaded. Every human bias removed. 25,000 brackets generated. And the first round of knockouts immediately produced pure chaos. Lusail Stadium. Desert heat bending the air above the pitch. Germany kicks off, controlling possession the way they always do, methodical, patient, suffocating. 68% possession by halftime. But the algorithm already knows the truth. Germany's expected goals sit at 0.4. They are passing sideways into a wall of organized defenders who refuse to break shape. Then the counterattack loads. 72nd minute. A single vertical pass splits the German midfield like a scalpel. The striker collects it in stride. One touch to control, one touch to shift his body, and a curling finish that bends past the goalkeeper's outstretched glove. The net barely ripples. Silence in half the stadium. Eruption in the other. In 14,000 of the 25,000 simulations, Germany failed to reach the quarterfinals. The greatest tactical machine in European football, broken by the same structural flaw the Oracle exposed in the Germany Efficiency Paradox report. Possession without penetration is just expensive choreography. But Germany's exit wasn't even the biggest shock of the opening round. On the other side of the bracket, Norway was running a completely different experiment. Erling Haaland, classified by the algorithm as a positional anomaly, was single-handedly warping the simulation's probability engine. His movement in the box didn't match any historical template the machine had ever processed. The model tried to predict where he would be at the moment of a cross, and failed. Repeatedly. In 6,000 simulations, Haaland scored in the round of 16. Not from elaborate build-up. Not from rehearsed set pieces. He simply appeared in spaces the algorithm couldn't map, like a glitch in the system's own code. This is the same anomaly pattern the Oracle detected when we analyzed players who shouldn't statistically exist. And then came the quarterfinals, where the real bloodbath began. If you are watching from Dhaka or from Port-au-Prince, this is the moment that will either confirm everything you believe about your team, or shatter it completely. Quarterfinal. Brazil versus France. The algorithm simulated this exact matchup over 9,000 times. And the sequence I am about to describe happened in the statistical majority of those outcomes. 73rd minute. Brazil pressing high, the Seleção playing beautiful, aggressive football at maximum intensity. Vinicius Jr. receives the ball on the left flank. He drops a shoulder, executes that devastating step over, and beats his marker clean. The crowd surges. He cuts inside, looks up, and threads a pass toward Rafinha, making a diagonal run into the 18-yard box. But the pass never arrives. France has already loaded the counter. The moment Brazil's fullbacks pushed past the halfway line, Mbappe started his run. Not sprinting yet, drifting into the channel, invisible, patient. Tchouaméni intercepts the pass with surgical precision. One touch forward. The ball finds Mbappe behind Danilo with 40 meters of open grass ahead of him. The Brazilian goalkeeper rushes out. Mbappe does not even look at him. Side foot. Bottom corner. Cold. In 68% of all 25,000 simulations, this exact tactical pattern, Brazil's fullbacks caught high, European counterattack slicing through the vacated space, eliminated the Seleção before the semifinals. The media will call it a mentality problem. The Oracle calls it geometry. 12 meters of empty grass behind an attacking fullback is not a coaching decision. It is a mathematical invitation for disaster. Just like we uncovered in the Brazil crisis report, the most talented squad on the planet, destroyed not by a lack of genius, but by the space they voluntarily surrender every single time they push forward. But if Brazil's elimination was cold and predictable to the machine, Argentina's was pure agony. Same round. Quarter-final. Argentina grinding through a brutal, suffocating match against a disciplined European bloc. Messi, 39 years old in the simulation's timeline, starts on the bench. The algorithm's biological degradation curve calculated that his sprint speed drops by 11% after the 60th minute in knockout matches. The coaching staff holds him back, waiting for the right moment. 75th minute. 0-0. Messi enters the pitch. The entire stadium shifts. Even the algorithm registered a measurable spike in Argentina's attacking probability the instant he touched the ball. Free kick, 23 meters out. He places it with the outside of his left foot. The ball curves over the jumping wall, kisses the underside of the crossbar, and drops in. The genius defying the data one more time. But the algorithm remembers what human emotion always forgets. Extra time. Minute 104. Messi receives the ball at the edge of the box. 2 World Cups ago, he turns and shoots before any defender can react. Today, his legs betray him by a fraction of a second. The defender closes the gap 0.3 seconds faster than Messi can shift his weight. Dispossessed. Counterattack. Goal. In over 7,000 simulations, Argentina's elimination came after the 90th minute, the exact window where the degradation curve predicted their aging core would collapse. The genius can still conjure magic, but the clock is no longer his ally. The semi-finals compressed 25,000 World Cups into a single terrifying truth. And that truth had one word: depth. France reached the semi-final 7,200 times. No other nation came close. And the reason wasn't just Mbappe, although he scored in 61% of those runs. The reason was the 23rd man on the roster. Picture it. Semi-final, minute 65. The opposing team's midfield is gasping. 3 knockout matches in 10 days have drained them. Their central midfielder's heat map has collapsed into a dying circle around the center spot, no longer covering the channels or tracking back.
We've got a fresh pair
France
of legs.
brings on Dembele. Fresh
Take
legs.
him on. Keep going.
A burst of acceleration down the right flank that the exhausted left back simply cannot match. Cross. Header. Goal. The algorithm proved something the football world refuses to accept. Squad depth is the single greatest predictor of knockout stage survival. The team that wins the World Cup is not the team with the best starting 11. It is the team with the best substitutes. But here is where it gets truly strange. In 12% of all simulations, roughly 3,000 brackets, a glitch occurred. The mathematical favorites were eliminated simultaneously by underdogs in the quarterfinals. In those chaotic timelines, nations from Africa, from the Caribbean, from South and Southeast Asia, teams with no historical precedent for reaching a World Cup semi-final, clawed their way through the wreckage. The algorithm could not explain it using standard tactical variables. It classified these outcomes as emotional anomalies, moments where collective belief, crowd energy, and raw desperation created statistical noise too powerful for any predictive model to filter out. For the fans watching from Port-au-Prince, from Dhaka, from every corner of the world where football is not just a sport but an identity, the machine confirms something extraordinary. The data says you probably will not win. But in 3,000 of 25,000 simulations, the impossible happened. And football is the only sport on Earth where the glitch is part of the code. Now, the grand final. The matchup the algorithm produced most frequently across all 25,000 brackets. France versus Argentina. First half. Tactical chess. Both nations respect each other's structure completely. 0 shots on target in the opening 22 minutes. The heat maps show 2 perfectly mirrored defensive blocks, neither willing to commit the first error. The stadium holds its breath. Minute 37. Corner kick. The delivery is outswinging, placed beyond the goalkeeper's reach. A French defender rises unmarked at the back post. Header. The net shakes. 1-0. In 48% of the grand final simulations, the decisive opening goal came from a set piece, a dead ball moment where individual marking errors decide the fate of nations. Argentina pushes forward. The second half becomes controlled chaos, the beautiful, terrifying chaos that makes World Cup finals legendary. Minute 67, an Argentine shot crashes off the inside of the post and rolls along the goal line before being cleared. Minute 74, the French goalkeeper produces a double save, the algorithm rated at a 2.1% probability of occurring. Minute 88. A long-range strike from outside the box bends through a crowd of bodies and nestles into the bottom corner. Equalizer. The algorithm never predicted this specific goal. It emerged from the noise, from the human chaos that no mathematical model can fully capture. 1-1. Extra time produces nothing but exhaustion, cramps, and fear. Penalties. In 35% of the grand final simulations, the trophy was decided from 12 yards. And in the shootout, the algorithm calculated something devastating. The nation with a higher historical penalty conversion rate won 67% of the time. Muscle memory. Pressure tolerance. The practiced ability to place a ball into the side netting when the weight of an entire country sits on your shoulders. France converted all 5. Clinical. Emotionless. Machine-like. The simulation crowned France champions in 28% of all 25,000 outcomes, the highest single-nation probability in the entire experiment. They did not win because they played the most beautiful football. They won because they committed the fewest tactical errors across 25,000 digital realities. They won because their squad depth absorbed the physical punishment of a knockout schedule that destroys everyone else. They won because when the algorithm pushed them into extra time, their bodies did not betray them. And because when it came to penalties, their nerve held while others crumbled. The system has spoken. The future of football has been calculated. But here is the question the Oracle cannot answer, and only you can. Do you believe the machine? Or do you believe that somewhere in those 3,000 chaotic simulations where the impossible happened, your nation found a way through? Drop your answer in the comments. The debate starts now. And if you want to understand how Brazil's tactical crisis runs even deeper than what the simulation revealed today, click the video appearing on your screen right now. Subscribe to the Football Oracle. We decode the beautiful game. We simulate the future. See you in the next breakdown.